Hi everyone, welcome to this third video based on my workshop in January 2024, which is about making of Desmos activity with the computation layer. And you can follow my links below this video to find this activity page. All right, I'm talking about some tasks here. You can see that there are some tasks already explained in the previous two videos. You can check them. And now in this third video, I'm talking about the remaining tasks in this set of activity. So let's go on to open it. Okay, and if you come to this page, you can see a preview. You can click the screen and then have a preview. I'm going to talk about these two tasks, okay, which is about collecting some points from a graphing area using the command capturing points, okay, and which I show you very soon in the editing mode. So you can see that in this activity, student can freely move a point until they meet certain conditions. They can check it, okay, whether it is equal to 90 degrees or not, okay. So you can mark it using this button. This button is particularly added with the computation layer. And so using this button, you can record this point that you are interested. So similarly, you can move to another position and then record another point. Okay, so you can do it one by one. And so after some trial, then you will see a list of points here giving a particular pattern. Okay, so how we do it, let's go on to copy and edit the activity. And then you can come to the edit mode and find that, okay, this is the task I've just shown you. And now, first of all, it is actually a geometry component. So you click inside it, and you can see this basic setup using the geometry tools to create a triangle with a movable point. And then this point P is mentioned as record here, okay? And so you also have the point Q and R labeled as well. And the angle is also marked, and it will be indicated, okay? The size of the angle is indicated as well. Now there are two values A and B that define this point P, okay? So bear in mind that point P, although it is movable, at the same time, it is also connected to the slider A and B here, okay? So you can see how it works later on. Okay. Well, then now let's try to close this window and now go to the component below. This is the button that we try to define. Okay, so you can find it here. This is one of the action buttons. So you can drag here to create a button for you to use in the screen. And what we can do with this button, you can use you can click open the script area. Now you can see that actually this button has a command input here. Well, it is about capturing. Okay, so you can see the documentation area to find out more about this capture command, and we'll create actually a number called x coordinate. Okay, based on the number in the graph D. Graph D is the component that I have just labeled above. It is the name of the graph component in the screen. And there's a number inside this component, okay, which is A, which is also you can see this in the previous window, all right? And that is actually the coordinates, the x coordinates of the point P, the movable point P. Similarly, the B, okay, the y coordinates of the movable point is also recorded in another number here, okay, which is called the y coordinate. So every time you click this button, so if you do the preview, every time you click this button, or this is the what we create from the button icon. All right. So every time when you click it, the value is AB defining the position of the P will be recorded in the numbers as x coordinate and y coordinate. Okay, in this area. So this is what it will do. Okay, when you try to click the button. Okay, let's go back to the graphing mode. Okay, here we also have the script area. If you click inside, then you will find that when each time you capture the number, okay, store in the value x coordinate and y coordinate, Okay, actually, there's a history, okay, associated with it. Because you can click the button more than once, then all the number will be collected and stored there as a list. And now we retrieve this list as at A and B, okay, so that you will have a number of points generated by these two lists A and B. And so you can go back to the graphing area inside, okay, and you scroll down. Actually, we have already entered a list AB, okay, based on the numbers that you capture from the action button. But of course, you don't see anything here yet because this A and B, okay, and this A and B will exist only when you start using the action button, okay, to collect the points. All right, so this is the setup. All right, so once it's done, then you will find that you can go back to the preview and try the same thing again. So remember that each time, no matter where you project the point B, when you click the button, then this value, right, the value AB defining piece will be recorded there inside and then transferred to the graphing window. Right? So that is how it works. It can be very useful for maybe generating some tasks about locus. Right? And so this is one example. And the next screen will show you another example. Basically, we just duplicate the previous screen and then edit the content inside. Okay, so actually the content depends on what you add here using the geometry tool. It is just another figure, or maybe just change the previous figure and then make use of the lengths. All right, this time we focus on the lengths. So and then the rest will be also the same, because once you use the action button to collect the values, then you have two lists created, A and B. Okay, and the effect will be more or less the same. So in this, if you preview in this screen, then the task here asks you to find some point P so that the distance PQ and PR are the same. So when you have done, let's say if you find one point, then you can just mark it, and then you continue to search another one. Okay. So it follows the same setup actually, right? But depends on what you provide in the geometry window. Okay. So this shows you how you can use this capture command, okay, in the computation layer to produce this kind of locus ideas or locus materials. And the last one, which I also mentioned in the second video, is also about a task about locus, okay? But this time I don't use the action button. Instead, we use the table. We go back to the table again to allow the student to input the numbers one by one. Okay, so this is another kind of setup to encourage the student to record the number, although we don't use the action button to do it automatically. However, we can also use the table to allow the student input any interested values one by one. Okay, so this is another entirely different process, but it is basically also the same kind of locus task you can use or you can make in the Desmos environment. So I hope this series of examples will allow you to think about how you can use the computation layer in designing some tasks. First of all, you can connect the table and the graph at the same, and also in the example in this video, you can also see how you can use the capture, okay, command through the action button to record the points automatically, okay? So these are just few examples about using computation layer. And whenever you click the script area, you can go to the documentation page, which actually provide far more details about different codes that you can use in different components, right? You can also go back to the beginning page to look at the basic informations, okay? All these actually have so all the details here also comes with examples, right? So if you're interested in any one of this script or code, then you can just click on this corner icon to go directly to do some example. And maybe you can just simply capture or copy some screen from this list of examples and then adapt it in your own task. This is the easiest way to start learning about the use of the computation layer and also creating different kind of tasks in the Desmos activity. Okay, so I think this is the end of the third video. I hope that you find all this series of examples and demonstration useful. Okay, bye-bye.